Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. This is the 100th attempt, I think, of me doing this video. I've tried so many times now, but yeah, there just seems to be something wrong with my OBS settings. I'm not sure. Let's really hope it's working out this time. I'm in a whole new setup now, so it's giving me a little bit of complications here. Let's hope it's working out this time. This song here, it's called Superbloom. It's an old song that I was working on in that I started basically in FL Studio, and I was going through my old FL Studio projects recently to see what's happening there, if there's anything useful in there, and I found this thing, this main melody part of the song, which it starts out with. This thing, and I really liked it when I re-listened to it, and was just wondering why I didn't finish it back then. So I just thought, yeah, let's import everything here to Ableton and make it a full song. So here we are, and I kind of liked the result. So I thought, let's do another one of these song breakdowns, you know, like I did for Steezy a couple of months back. So here we are. And just one more thing about my setup real quick. Because I'm on a new monitor, you only see a small part, or not the full part of my screen, right? Because I'm on an ultra wide now. I have a little bit more space to the sides here. First of all, I can really recommend that to anyone working in a DAW. Get an ultra wide. It's so nice to have all of that extra real estate. One thing I was worried about though, in the past I was working with two monitors, where one was just a arrangement view in full screen, like you see here, with the devices down at the bottom. And on another screen, I had the MIDI clip view, the piano roll in full screen, right? So I would have both of them accessible at any time. So I was worried, like, would I still need a second screen when I switch to my ultra wide? But actually, I found this really nice shortcut, keyboard shortcut in Ableton, where you can just click a MIDI clip, and hit Shift Tab, and it takes you right to the full screen MIDI view. Isn't that nice? It's like awesome, right? You have everything you need here with your arrangement view and your devices. Click the clip, Shift Tab, go back. It's so good to work like that. Anyways, let's start. So the song is starting with these chords here. Let's listen to those. So these chords are really the basic building block for the whole song, or most of the song. They are going on pretty much till the ending part, till around here. So everything from the start till back here is more or less that same chord progression. I'll explain these real quick on guitar. So the thing is, I'm in E flat standard. So this note here on the 5th fret on the A string is actually sounding like a D flat, right? Because I'm tuned down. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna say this is a D. So the first chord would be like a D minor 7 or a D minor 9, right? Or some variation of that. And then it goes up to the 2 chord, or 2nd degree, also as a minor 7 chord. In this case here, where the piano starts, is some variation of that root note on top. It would give you like a G6, kind of. Or you could also say it's an E minor 7, but first inversion, right? Hope that's making sense. And then it goes to the flat 6 chord, B flat. Again, I'm transposing, or not transposing rather. It's kind of an Aeolian vibe, right? Then it goes back to the 1 chord. And then it goes to the 2nd degree, so up to the E again, but sometimes as a 9 chord as well, E minor 9. And that 9 up here on the E chord is kind of special because it makes everything now be in a major setting, if that's making sense. So if we look at that top note here of that chord, that E minor 9 chord, this top note here, in relation to the D, major third. So it's kind of switching to a major vibe in relations to the root note, to our tonic. I really hope that's making sense. If not, leave me a comment, I will try to explain this further. And after this E minor 9, it's going down to this really odd chord, the A flat or A flat major, something like that, which would be the flat 5th degree or sharp 4th degree, which doesn't have a lot of common notes with D minor. So I'm not really sure why it works. I know it sounds weird. You hear it so many times throughout the song because it keeps repeating. So by like hearing it the third or fourth time, you're kind of accustomed to it. So it's not that weird anymore. So yeah, that's basically what the piano is playing here. The plugin that's used here is Spitfire Labs, which is a free plugin. You can get it for free on the Spitfire Audio website, and they have a bunch of instruments here. These synths are really cool to play with as well. It has a really cool reverb sound on it as well, which I automated here. So for the beginning of the song, it's quite reverby, and then it's completely dry. And I also have RC20 on here, which I use on a lot of tracks. It's like a lo-fi plugin. I have some tape noise, wobble, which would be like a tape wobble. Distorted explains itself. Digital is like a bit reduction thing. Space is a reverb. And magnetic is also like some tape dropout simulation, something like that. And yeah, I use this on so many things. It's really cool. You can use it on drums, on bass, on the master. I think on the master I have it as well. Yeah. At least at some part I automated the magnitude, which would be like the mix button. But we will come to that. Anyways, yeah, that's the piano, and there's some EQ on there, just to get rid of the low end. So next thing, bass. The bass is Vanish bass, it says here. This was some preset that I found for Operator, which is this Ableton instrument. Those of you who use Ableton probably know this device here, Operator. And yeah, it was just some preset in there, and I tweaked it a little bit. I'm not sure what it was anymore. And there's some sidechain compression here coming from the kick, just to duck the volume of the bass when the kick hits. I guess most of you are at this point familiar with what this is doing. If not, I will explain it real quick just once. You basically just take any compressor. Here in Ableton it would look exactly like this, where you have this little arrow key here to give you like some extra options. You hit sidechain, and then you have this drop down menu with all the other channels that you have in your project. And here you can choose which signal you want to be the trigger for the sidechain compression. See that? Some extreme settings, you can see really well what's going on. So the idea behind this is just to give the kick drum some room when it's playing. There's more ideal solutions for this actually, like using an envelope follower and then have that envelope follower duck down a certain frequency only in the bass instead of the whole thing, which would sound a lot more clean, but I only learned that recently, so yeah, this is like the old school way, or not old school, but more like the beginner friendly way of doing things. It's not bad at all. It also depends on what kind of music you want to do. But yeah, you can have a compressor on your main channel, or like a bus that contains all of the instruments except the kick drum, and then have the kick drum duck down everything, you know, where everything just starts to breathe as soon as the kick drum plays. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the bass. There's some EQ on here as well, just to boost those low end frequencies a little bit. Next thing that's coming in is the drums here. We have a really basic kick drum sample, some EQ on it. We have a really basic hi-hat with no processing at all. We have some snare, like a lo-fi snare without any processing either, and a lo-fi snap without any processing. But I think there's some processing on the bass. Yeah, this is Knock. This is one of those plugins that I use sometimes just to put on my drum bass, and it makes everything sound better. The sub feature is really cool because you can make any kick drum like a long decay 808 kick drum with this. So if I turn up this decay knob, it gives this really long decay to the kick drum, which is really nice. You can even tune it to a certain note. But yeah, we're not using that for this song. Yeah, it's a really cool plugin. It's like 20 bucks or something like that. And then there's this glue compression on here. It's not doing a lot. Let's talk about guitars. So we have a bunch of guitar tracks up here, but the main theme of the song is played with these two tracks here. Here I had to write down that I have my tone knob at like 75%, just so I wouldn't forget. This is what the guitar sounds like in a solo. Super dry, no reverb. I only have some low cut and a little boost here of not even 3 dB. Not sure why that isn't here. Maybe that's exactly the frequency that I've been cutting out with my tone knob that I wanted to have back. I'm not sure. But there's a little bit of stuff happening in the drum bass, in the guitar bass, sorry. So this is just a basic delay plugin that I automated the wet level of. So whenever I want to have a section with more delay, the wet level is going up. Then the next thing is another sidechain compression coming from the kick. So every time the kick plays, the guitar is ducking down. Also from the clap. So the guitars are in volume really dancing around with the drums really. When the drums are playing, guitars are moving. So this next thing here is kind of fun. You can hear this in action right here. So what's happening is this is a basic EQ8 with just a low pass filter. The frequency of the low pass filter is actually controlled by this LFO plugin here. Let me just show you real quick how you can set this up for yourself. So at first we want to have an EQ8, so or any EQ for that matter, and we're gonna turn all of these off here. We want to just have one EQ band with low pass, and so let's listen to just this. So that's kind of the movement that we want to automate now. This thing moving from the very right to the very left side here, which would be controlled with this frequency button here, right? So that's what we want to control remotely, and we use the LFO for that. So let's put that right next to it, and then we hit that little map button here, and then we click frequency here. And then one more thing that we have to do is here, instead of mod, we want to click that, so it sets it to remote. So now this button is following this exact curve here. And you can set this to a bunch of different curve types, like triangle or random, right? And jumps around randomly. But in this case here, we have down. All right, almost there. So one more thing that we want to do is that this thing is starting out really quickly and that it gets slower over time. So we can do that by automating the rate. That's what's happening here for this very brief moment. Later on we have this auto pan as well. And And what this does is just making the signal jump really quick between the left and the right. So here it just automated the amount of the auto pen as well, so you have these kind of swells, right? At the start of the phrase, there's nothing really happening, and then the fast movement between left and right channel is becoming more and more present when this amount thing is going on. There's some more RC20 on here as well. So for this section here, the guitars sound kind of lo-fi-ish. And there's one more of those in here. Yeah, that one is with bit reduction. I think this is so cool. You can mess up your signal in so many cool ways. I love this plugin. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, for processing of the guitars, really. Maybe there's some more processing in these other channels. Just some EQ here on the main guitars. More EQ here. Yeah. And those are like my main guitars, left and right. Super dry, clean as well. And as you can see, there's so many edits in here. I do a lot of edits. That's kind of the way I write this music, right? So I will just record like one thing, you know, and then have that loop, and then just think about the second thing till I find something that I really like, and then only after really finishing the song, the production, I'm gonna learn how to actually play all of this. And yeah, I also don't care about doing one clean take throughout the whole thing, because I can just leave it like this and it sounds good. And if I'm able to play it live kind of cleanly, then yeah, I can leave them in there. It sounds good on the record, and yeah, that's it. There's one more mid track in here, which is not panned to the left or right. This is really just for this brief moment here. Just like some texture here again. Yeah, but otherwise this channel isn't doing anything really. RC20 for the lo-fi and low cut. Here we have the fuzz guitars. You can see there's some quite heavy kick drum sidechaining going on here, just to give the kick drum some more breathing room, and some EQ as well. And the fuzz is coming from my from the Line 6. So by the way, I'm recording with my Line 6 Helix, which I also used as my audio interface in the past. And I think I just had my same clean tone that I had for all the other sounds, or for the other tracks, and I just put some fuzz pedal in there in the signal chain and tweaked it a little bit, so it's not any special fuzz or anything. And the fuzz guitars are followed by this synth here. Just played by Massive. This preset called Future Control. Some very like kick drum sidechaining again, and some EQing. Mixes quite nicely, I think. We have one more piano here, which is the Imagiro piano. The Imagiro also has some RC20 on it, just for the lo-fi vibes. Then we go into the fuzz section, where we talked about those fuzz guitars and the synth already. Here the guitars are accompanied by Picturella, which is another preset in Massive. It's called and I just doubled this. So the same plugin is on the second track here, and they're high panned left and right. And I think I just tweaked the preset buttons here a little bit on one of them, so they're not exactly the same. They're out of tune a little bit as well, I think. Some basic EQing again, and again some kick sidechain. Then in the here in the more heavy part, the drums are also here now having this clap sample with this transient shaper, which is kind of a neat tool. Without it, gives it more transient. And we have a second hi-hat as well. The hi-hats are hard panned left to the right, not hard panned, but slightly panned to the left and the right, just to sit in different spaces, right? And we have one sample track down here in the drums. I like to have some extra tracks in the drums where I can work with audio instead of MIDI. So that's one of them here. And yeah, here in this part I use it for like an open hi-hat sound, which I have cut down here, I think. Yeah, this is kind of a long sample. And I thought it would be cool to have it like just short for this little break here in sync with the kick drum. Here again with another sample. First one again. A little reversed thing here. Reversed snare. Yeah. Then it goes into the like first verse of the song, which is really just different variations of the chords. So what's starting here to play as well is this ambient thing. So we have two of those. And these are really low in volume. They're more like a background texture thing. With a lot of delay on it and yeah. I mean, you notice it when it's not there. Here, this one is really nice. Oh, also some phase or flanger thing. And some stereo noise suppression, right? I had some issue there with noise. So I put this on there and it helped. And some EQing as well. What else is here? Yeah, some percussion samples in here in this transition. And these make a huge difference, I feel like. Let's listen to the track without them. Super boring, right? And vivid. It suddenly gives it movement and stuff. I have quite a big sample library where I will just go to the search bar and type in perc. I just click myself through these, you know. And then let's play around with this. Let's mute this for now. Yeah, stuff like that, you know. Just put it in there. Oh, this one is cool. Here. A little bit too much here. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this is cool. Then you can just lower them all in volume a little bit. Yeah, something like that. Long clave, lave. So yeah, these little perk things, they make such a big difference. So what else do we have here in the section? Oh, there's some autopan on here, I think. Something's happening somewhere. Maybe here? No. There's something happening here. Oh, it's the LFO EQ thing, yeah, right. Just to give that weird texture effect again. Some chimes. For that glitter. These hi-hat samples, or ride samples rather, are very kind of fun to make with this little gap here at the end. Then we have the lead synth coming in for the first time, which is a Juno. Yeah. So this plugin is really nice. I've showed this in my other song breakdown as well, and this is like 15 bucks or something. And I'm using this so much in all of my tunes. It's really a lot of fun to mess around with. It gives you like retro synthy sounds. If you know what a Juno is, then you're probably aware what this does. It's just a simulation of a Juno. The chorus is really nice. Just a really cool plugin. So this is a short, like, broken lo-fi kind of section, where the magnitude of this RC20 is automated on the master. Just with a lot of wobble and distortion and of this magnetic thing, tape dropout thing. And I initially didn't like that it was playing in the pauses. You could hear some instruments in the pauses. So I put this gate in here. It's this without the gate. It's not as clean in the breaks, right? Let's re-enable that automation. Gives it more of this like chopped kind of feel. Also there's some arpeggiator coming in, which is a Juno again. This preset in here, the Berlin School arpeggio, is something that I use a lot as well. Just a really cool sounding arpeggiator. And we have this little break here, which is really just a repeat of the first part of the first verse. Really, this part is just the same as here, but there's almost no guitars here, and what the guitars would usually play is just replaced by different Junos and pianos. I think the perks are the very same as in the first round, and then we have this Juno here playing the first chord, and we have another one here playing also the first chord. One little guitar edit in the mid channel. This is just a copy and paste glitch kind of thing, where I do something like that, duplicate it, something like that. Here's some piano again, octaves, slightly displaced. And here I have some resampling, which I am also using later in the song to a bigger degree than here. This is really just a brief moment. The way you can do something like this is have a new audio track, and then on the input you select resampling, and now you can record anything that's coming through Ableton, really, anything that's playing. So if I record, So we just recorded one-to-one what Ableton was playing to us right now. And now we can mess around with this audio. So you can just take one thing here and then play around with this. You know, like warp it or I don't know, like transpose it, stuff like that. Glitch the hell out of it. Bad example, but yeah, resampling is really nice. And that's what I did with this piano here. So just this chord resampled and pitched down and then chopped up. So yeah, these are pitched down an octave and then just edited. Short break on the tuner here. Some more percussion down here. Now this is the first time and the only time really in the song where the drums are kind of hinting at a modulation. And I could have gone ahead here and also misplaced the backbeat here with the snare and the snaps, so it would actually go into the modulation. But I thought it was a little bit too much to do that. Let's just listen to that. I mean, it's kind of cool, and in most of my other songs I have sections like this, but I thought it's nice also to not commit to it fully, but just like hint at it with the rides here. Yeah, just some more percussionists down here. This sample up here. Oh yeah, we should talk about the SFX group. So this is usually what I use for like reversed cymbals and stuff like that, like more background texture-ish stuff. I just drop samples in here and make them longer, make them shorter, chop them up, pitch them down or up, you know, stuff like that. Oh, and here there's auto pan on it. That's why it's called pan, right? So yeah, just one instance of the auto pan, so it's moving around in space. Makes it way more interesting at this spot here. Turn it on. Yeah, then here on the repeat of the main melody part, it's sort of like a breakdown where there's no drums happening really, or almost no drums. And the guitars have this lo-fi thing on them that we looked at before, an instance of the RC20 here. And yeah, there's one Juno playing some big chords here. And there's also this LFO thing happening on here, I think. Auto pan. So it's a down curve on here, I guess. Yeah, so with the amount and the rate doing the same thing, probably. Yeah. Just so something happens real quick in the break of the guitars. And then once more here. And on here at the end as well. So it kind of sounds like everything is like torn apart, right? On the guitars the same thing is happening. Oh, on here, on the guitars it's actually the LFO EQ8 thing. It sounds kind of similar to what the auto pan is doing when you set it correctly. Or not correctly, but just at a really fast speed, rather. We have a short break here. This Juno that we looked at before. With raw on it this time. Let's listen without it. Just a really nice overdrive distortion. So this is all just an exact copy of the first part when this comes around. But here it comes another time. With a short break in between where a new bass instrument is added. So whoop bass. I'm not sure anymore what instrument this was in Ableton. I think maybe Meld? Let's see. say on here? No, it doesn't say. I'm not sure. Well, you can look for it in your Ableton. Just type in whoop. There's some roar on it here. Kind of a dubstep-ish sounding bass, right? The distortion with roar. Some EQing. Some sidechain compression from the kick again. And some more compression, which is not really doing anything even. I'm not sure why this is on here. It's doing a tiny bit. We have a Juno ARP, right? So I think this is just the Picturellas copied up there. Why it says, that's why it says Picturella here. So yeah, this is the Berlin School arpeggio thing. And then at the end of this section here, these are just the same hits as these ones here. Just copy and paste it over, and then everything here on these is just pitched down. I think 3 semitones. That's also what I did on these guitars here. Pitched them down. I'm not sure. Maybe I pitched them differently on the left and right. Yeah, because one of these is actually pitched up an octave and one is not. So this is the same guitar that I recorded, and this one is pitched up an octave, it seems. So then it goes into this whole outro section thing. And it's based on this chord here, which is really just an inversion of an E major. You're thinking like E major 7, right? This would be a very common chord shape here. If you lift your ring finger, you get this kind of voicing with the second here. So it would be like a sus chord. The major, with the major 7 on top, and then with the third in the bass though. Nice chord. Some selective picking here. Just move it down 3 semitones. Drop 2 voicings. Yeah, that's that. The arpeggiator has some really long delay on here. Just for like some background ambience. It's getting triggered again. And then for these next 2 rounds here, I pretty much just copy-pasted the guitars, programmed some drums, and wrote a solo over this. So this is the lead guitar here. Some delay on it, some EQing, and some reverb, and some chorus, but that chorus is only for that very last note. And also some kick drum sidechaining. I think the tone is really also just the same clean tone preset that I have with some slight overdrive on it. There's some selective picking in there, some legato playing. I've also automated this wet level here, just so on the long notes there's more delay. And on the short notes and in the breaks, there's almost no delay here. It's very subtle. You can definitely hear it when there's not this going down in volume from the delay. Just create some space, right? Yeah, the synth is really just playing the same as the guitars. some more delay here at the end, delay tail. Oh, also there's this China. This China makes everything sound kind of heavy, even though it isn't. Auto pan on here. Just this one note. So yeah, what I did is I had this play here, somewhere around here, and I just muted the solo, the lead group. And that's what I recorded in my resample group. Let's try that real quick. Something like that. I think I pitched it down, like 3 semitones again. Yeah, something like that. And also I changed the speed on it, I think. Yeah, something like that. And then all of these edits in here are really just copy-pasted small segments of in here. You know, you can just take, as we had before, like a small segment like this and copy it in and duplicate. And it gives you this glitchy kind of thing. Oh, also on here there's one more note, the lead guitar. And glitching at the start as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Some more EQ on here. Boosting the lows and the highs. Party mode, I guess. And some mono thing. For a short brief moment here is in mono. You don't really hear it when you listen to it on speakers, but on headphones it definitely makes a difference when it switches to mono for those brief moments. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know if there's anything else that you wanna know about this tune or whatever, even if it's about another tune or anything really. Leave me a comment in the comment section or hit me up on the socials. You know where to find me.